Podcast and live stream recording here for Tuesday's 10-game main slate. James, Howard Bender on the playbook today for everybody. You and I give them the first look at this big old slate here. 10 games on a Tuesday.
10 games on a Tuesday, normal, nothing out of the ordinary there. Tuesday's typically the biggest slate. Tuesday, Fridays, those are our big boys. So interesting slate. Once again, we have cores. So, we'll be dealing with that. We'll be dealing with Wrigley. We'll have to see if there's any wind in Wrigley. Usually that starts picking up during the summer months. Yankees back on the slate. Your Red Sox on the slate. Some top tier pitching. 4 guys over 10K. So I'm excited to get into it.
Hopefully they pitch better than they did on Monday.
That is not a tough task.
Unless your name was Christian Javier tonight, you gave up more than 3 runs. So
not a tough thing to be better than Monday night.
Right. And again, we're recording here on Monday evening, just before the first pitch of the late games here. Boston, LA just starting now. Oakland, Seattle still to come. So maybe we'll get better pitching performances in the evening games, but so far been pretty much a disaster across the board here. That said, like you said, we have 10 games here. Why don't you give us a brief look at Vegas here, James? Totals that we're looking to pay attention to. Any spreads that are notable?
Yeah, spreads. Marco Gonzalez and the Seattle Mariners open as the biggest favorites on the board, minus 240. That's interesting because Oakland has hit lefties well, and Marco Gonzalez has not been a good pitcher this year. But minus 240 there on DraftKings Sportsbook. Minus 210 for Spencer Strider going up against the Los Angeles Dodgers. Garrett Cole is minus 165 favorite at home against the Baltimore Orioles. And Yu Darvish minus 150 on the road against Washington. Those are the biggest favorites on the money line. In terms of over-unders, let's see what we got for cores. 11 runs, Austin Gomber versus Yuri Perez. Yuri Perez's first experience with Coors Field should be an interesting one. Right. Brian Bayo, Griffin Canning, 9.5 implied runs there. That could be a run fest or not, depending on how those two guys pitch. That's it. Those are the only two notable totals. Everything else, 9.5, I guess, in Houston, Milwaukee. Who do we have slated for Milwaukee? Colin Ray is going to start on Tuesday. So that will be interesting. JP France, who you and I will get to it, but we alluded to some regression, and the regression came his way in a big way. So yeah, that's really it. All the notable stuff in terms of Vegas.
All right, well, let's get to pitching here. We have relief pitcher Spencer Strider at the top price, $12,300. DraftKings, come on, man. Can we?
I know, for real.
Give a starter here. I mean, someone's got to be paying attention to this each and every day. He's $12,300 going up against the Dodgers rookie call up there, Bobby Miller, making his debut. Good luck to him in that matchup. Garrett Cole, 11-2 against the Baltimore Orioles. Sonny Gray, $10,600 against the San Francisco Giants. Yu Darvish up over 10K, 10-5 going up against the Washington Nationals here. Kodai Senga's 94, Mackenzie Gore's 93. We'll break it down there as your top 6 starters.
I mean, there's a lot to like up here. I know it's a tough matchup for Strider. We saw a little, chink in the armor last time out, but still 7 strikeouts, salvaged the outing. I think that's possible here against the Dodgers. We know no one on this slate has as much strikeout upside as Spencer Strider, so you can definitely get to him. But you and I actually in this same spot, not in terms of matchups. Garrett Cole, Spencer Strider were on this slate just a few days ago. You and I both went Garrett Cole. That obviously panned out for us. Not that Garrett Cole was dominant, because he wasn't, and not that the Yankees lineup did anything for him. They didn't. But the Yankees lineup is very hot. The Yankees are winning pretty much every game they've played recently with a healthy Aaron Judge back, and poke the bear type scenario with Toronto, and things have taken off for the Yanks. So definitely can get to Garrett Cole at home. Interested about Sonny Gray because he's coming off his worst start of the year where he couldn't get out of couldn't make it out of. He pitched 4 innings, 84 pitches. You don't like to see that. Yeah. And we continue to say it. We continue to say it. We continue to say it. I mean, the Giants' offense against right-handed pitching is just really good. I don't. They gave Bailey over fits on
They
Monday.
threw 7 lefties at them today.
They threw 7. So, just going to assume that's going to happen once again. So I'm perfectly indifferent about Sonny Gray. I think Darvish is going to be interesting because I expect him to be pretty popular, but we say this about Washington all the time. They don't strike out a lot, and they're just annoying. So another
And
game
Darvish
where
hasn't even been like a
no,
stud, right?
no,
Like he's, so I agree with you. I don't really. There's a lot of like top names and interesting matchups. Is kind of how
yep,
I'll put it. Somebody here is going to have a good game. Somebody's maybe multiple. Which one?
Senga.
Senga's got the strikeout. You mentioned Strider having that strikeout upside. I mean, Senga's been a pretty big strikeout pitcher as well. Can he command himself? That's the big question.
Yes.
Cubs, as we know, we've ridden them at times this year, and we've gone against them at times this year. So I like to see where the wind is blowing in Chicago for this game. So that'll have a factor. Mackenzie Gore in a little revenge game there against the team that traded him. I mean, we talk all the time. San Diego's lineup just isn't as impressive lately for one reason or another. Certainly could find yourself playing Mackenzie Gore here. So if I had to rank this group here, I probably have Cole 1.
Yes.
And then it's dart throws after that. I mean, Strider probably has to just be 2 for the talent.
Yep.
Senga's probably 3.
I would.
And then after that, I mean, I don't know. Do you go throw it in a blender? Gray, Darvish, Gore. Like they're all kind of in the same tier for me.
Yeah, San Diego's definitely had better success against lefties this year. They're not hitting righties at all, other than Juan Soto. So I would probably rank them the same as you.
Okay.
Because then we could just get to Erod at 8,800.
Yep. Not his finest start, but Pittsburgh's been tough. Pittsburgh's been tough.
And every other start has been.
Yeah, exactly. We can go Kansas City here, going up against KC here. As long as you just avoid Salvi Perez, basically, you'll probably be pretty solid. Mid-tier guys. I mean, Cobb. We talk about France. Smiley gets the Mets. It kind of dips off. I mean, I'll go back down to Brian Bayo. I talk to him about him every slate that he pitches. He's $6,300. He's been pretty good since coming back from his, brief send down. I think Bayo is like the clear value for me. And then I don't know, find a mid-tier guy to convince me why they're in play.
All right, I'll convince you. Or I will attempt to convince you.
Sure.
But it's going to take a lot of convincing because I'm getting crazy here. I'm looking at Yuri Perez, John.
Sure.
Look, the thing we know about Colorado is that they can, and just not even just Colorado, it's like just Coors Field does things to pitchers that they don't like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yuri Perez throws a very hard fastball. He's 6'8". He is on top of you when he releases the ball. And the strikeout stuff has been immaculate through 2 starts. 13 strikeouts in his first 9 2/3 innings. Colorado isn't a team that struck out a lot against right-handed pitching, just under 23%, but they're also a team that's not walking a lot, and I think that's a little bit of a concern with Yuri Perez. The pitch counts have gotten up there and not a lot of innings so far. They're a very middling offense against right-handed pitching. 728 OPS, that is dead center in the league. 319 WOBA. They are not a powerful team, which we know about Colorado. They do not hit for power, 23rd in terms of OPS. And a lot of these guys they have in the lineup, like they're missing CJ Cron. That's one of their power bats. Like Ryan McMahon hasn't been a power bat this year. Like Chris Bryant has turned into a gap-to-gap guy. There's not a lot of like things that scare me. I would take a shot on Yuri Perez, 7,100 for sheer upside. Plus, like, he was 7,700 in his last start, paid off in spade. Now he's $600
cheaper.
About
the 78 pitches?
I think
Is he capped at 5 innings? Maybe like what are our thoughts here?
Possibly. I think there's also like it's interesting because he had 88 pitches in his first start, so it's a weird dynamic to like why maybe they just didn't want to restart him in another inning. I don't have the answer like for that.
Sure.
He gave up a home run in the fourth. That was the only run he gave up. So I'm not exactly sure why they pulled him at 78 pitches. My assumption is, and my assumption is they have him capped at what 90, right? If he starts an inning, maybe they just don't want to pull him out in the middle of an inning, so they just say, you know what, you're at 5 at 78. I think that kind of helps that Miami or Colorado rather isn't a team that walks a lot. So maybe we're getting a lot of free swingers. Pitch count can stay down. Maybe he can get into the 6th inning.
Sure.
Either way, at 7,100, either one of his starts, he pays off the price tag with either of these performances that he had.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. Again, we don't. In the past, there was an absolute no-fly zone starting somebody in Colorado, but we've talked a lot about it this year. Rocky's offense sucks. So, in the past, that was because you were worried about, top-tier Holiday or Tulowitzki, Cargo, Arenado, you name it. Like, you were worried about the offense that Colorado had to put up a lot of runs because that's what they did. This offense not scary at all. So I like that. I like Yuri Perez. I like Brian Bayo and pair them up with somebody up top. I think that's where I'm going at pitching. Cobb against Minnesota. I mean, we are suckers a lot for liking the Twins.
We sure are.
Alex Cobb's been really good.
He has been very good outside of his last start, but there was a lot of walks in that start.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing Minnesota does like great against right-handed pitching is hit for power, but like that's not much of a concern here, right? Because Alex Cobb keeps everything on the ground, so
yeah,
I could get behind some Alex Cobb.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nothing for me.
Okay. Catcher. I mean, the way Salvi Perez is swinging it right now, it's hard not to like him. Especially since we kind of like the other pitchers, Will Smith, Strider, Rutschman, Cole, Yuri Perez, Elias Diaz. Sean Murphy had a decent game today. Maybe you get him against Bobby Miller at $4,900. Cal Raleigh against Medina at $4,500. It's like your top guys here, but again, not like a surefire. This split, this pitcher, this matchup, I don't really see that on this one.
I would probably get to Cal Raleigh if I had to pick anyone in this tier. Sure. It's going to be another disappointing Seattle slate. I already feel it coming. Like they've just again been very disappointing.
Tonight,
we did, we did get a Kelenic home run. Kelenic lefty has just been nails.
You mentioned it, crazy ISO. So,
but it's just like they never put anything together. Like, when's their last big performance? The double home run game by Cal Raleigh. Like that was probably their like last big offensive output. He has a 332 WOBA and 6 home runs against righties this year. So I would probably go Raleigh and then just scoot all the way down out of this tier.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, if we go down, I know the numbers haven't bared it out, but Haas gets Lynch. Willing to just trust historical data on Haas here against a lefty, then current form Haas against a lefty. We might get suckered into Detroit stack tonight. Every now and again we get a little crazy with it. It could be something we look at here as we move along the slate against Lynch here.
So excited! So excited.
Is this El Gary on the team here?
Oh no, it is. He's playing. Yeah, he's been playing.
Listen, if Gary Sanchez is in the lineup for the Mets against Smiley, never know.
I mean, we know, but like, yeah,
no, we know.
I get it. I would play Carlos Perez of the Oakland Athletics.
Francisco Alvarez too, 28 right there as well.
So he's so good. He's been so good. Alvarez, Perez, both home run threats. I I don't want to say Ben Rortvedt, but like made his debut with the Yankees. He had been like an action figure. They traded for him a couple years ago, and he just like didn't play. 2 for 4 in his debut with a double. He's a defensive first catcher, but if he's in the lineup,
sure,
they put Trevino on the IL. He's $2,500. So if he corrects the lineup, I don't hate that.
Okay, yeah. You'd possibly get him in there, like you said. He was min price the other day.
Yep.
Our buddy Mark Pitts, who follows the stream, see him on the 5 o'clock. He played him at 2K. I was like, what a life. Having him in their lineup there. I stacked the rest of the Yankees, and he got the 2K catcher. So,
that's the one half of the power play boys.
Yeah, about half the power play boys. Let's go to first base here. Otani, Olsen, Alonso, a lot of power there. Cooper, maybe finally a spot to pay for 5K. Garrett Cooper against Gomber. Rizzo in Yankee Stadium against Bradish. Love that. Yep. I know Yankees will be popular here.
Yes.
On this evening. So some interesting spots. I still think Olsen, Alonso, and Rizzo are my guys here.
Yeah, I would probably agree. I mean, Alonso's been back in that like power stroke if you want to play Pete Alonso too. I mentioned that to you a lot. Like you can always play Pete Alonso in that tier as well.
Yeah, 100%.
Rowdy at 4,100 against JP France. We knew the numbers were coming around to bite JP France. This feels like a good Milwaukee spot. Rowdy coming off a home run off Christian Javier. That's now 2 games in a row he's homered. Adames a righty at home. This feels like a very good Milwaukee spot, and that is so scary for all of FA Nation out there that's gonna look and listen to our content on Tuesday.
We're gonna have Detroit.
Oh boy, Oakland.
Oh yeah,
Oakland. And Detroit, Milwaukee.
Oakland, yeah, Milwaukee.
Oh boy,
right down here. That's hilarious. The Moose on the loose maybe against the Story 41.
The Moose might actually be on the loose if you're not going Yuri Perez. Yeah. He might actually be on the loose.
Right?
Yep.
Let's see here.
I think there's about 2 to 3 good values. Mark Vientos, you could play first, third. He's been, he has the home run in his debut. And then he sat because why would you do that? Jared Walsh, 2,400. I'm going to keep mentioning him. I know you like Brian Bayo. And where was my third value? Tristan Cassis against Griffin Canning, who got shelled his last time
out. Yeah, I'm with you there. Anybody else?
No.
Probably not, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Second base. Well, I assume Estrada gets back in the lineup tonight and off day Monday.
Yeah, probably.
Altuve's 53. Yaraz, as you mentioned, one of the highest roster players on the slate on Monday, 55. I know it's a lefty, but can't imagine he gets out of the lineup.
No.
Morel still just homering all the time, $4,700.
Dude, he is so nuts.
Where else are we peeking at?
Morel. Glaber against Kyle Bradish is okay. He homered the other day. He's been slowing down a little bit. Morel for absolutely sure. I'm okay going Luis Garcia. It's like, honestly, you dip down all the way. If Dubuon's back in the lineup, he homered on Monday. Shout out Mauricio Dubuon. Good for you. Emmanuel Valdez, 3,100. He's in play. Harold Castro, if you're playing against Yuri Perez, he's in play. But it's all just cheap guys. Caballero, if he's in the lineup, I don't know if he will be because it's a righty-righty, but if he hits anything like he did the other day, like they're just going to play him over Colton Wong because Colton Wong has been just god-awful.
Yeah, Emmanuel Valdez is still there, $3,100.
Yep, I mentioned pretty much Valdez and anyone below him just because I don't think there's anything above him.
I agree. Middle tier here is a little gross. I mean, Kid's tree. Right. I mean, just kind
of. But lefty in that spot.
That's fair. All right. I mean, Kim will be in the lineup against Score. Righty, lefty.
Yeah.
Third base then. Devers, your top guy against Canning?
Yep. Absolutely.
Not a controversial take there.
Not a controversial take at all.
Anybody else then at the top tier? I mean, Riley at 48, kind of interesting.
He's just been bad against righties. I get it. It's a righty that's been terrible at AAA. Good luck making your debut against him. So if you want to go there, I would play John Birdie if he leads off again.
Okay.
Gomber's just really bad against right-handed pitching, so I would get to Birdie, even though it's a little pricey.
Brian Anderson, $3,500.
Yeah, Brian Anderson feels really good.
It's righties better than lefties.
Yeah, I like Milwaukee quite a bit here. Brian Anderson slowed down. I do. I don't know what else to say.
I know. Listen,
John Segura, 34. He'll probably be popular, or at least like project to be popular.
$2,700. I know you mentioned him at second base, but like, you know, can be lefty, righty versus France.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We're doing it. We're talking ourselves.
I'm already there.
I'm already there. I'm with you there. Nobody else down here though.
No.
Shortstop. Do they keep Witt at 6 so they hit him at leadoff against lefty?
I don't know. Probably leads off because they're not going to lead. They probably don't lead Prado lead off again.
So. Against lefty, right? Lindor runs a lefty at 45.
Yeah, he's just like, what is this guy
doing? Javier Baez against a lefty?
What is he doing? I don't know what any of these people are doing anymore. Does anyone hit anymore?
He was hot for a hot minute.
For like a week. I picked him up in our seasonal league, and then I saw he didn't hit again.
460 slug against lefties.
If you want to play Javi Baez, like you could play him. You know, like he's he's fine.
Volpe, 4K.
Yeah, Volpe's fine. He's been better. Yeah, right? Like, he's been better against righties.
3 homers the last 10.
Yeah, the power has been on display. Yankee Stadium is where he's done all of his damage too. So I can get to Volpe. Garrett Hampson, 3,300, probably popular again.
Hit 9th today.
Hitting 9th today. A little wraparound. I wonder if they do that again with the lefty on the mound.
Yeah, Crawford's leading off for Seattle. He's 36.
Yeah, I could get behind some Crawford too.
Always plays Schmidt. He's in play, 34.
That feels.
It's probably it, right?
Yeah, that feels. It.
All right, outfield then. We know the top guys here. I guess the question is, pick one. Who's the guy? Acuna, Judge, Jordan, who has 2 homers and a grand slam tonight. Like, what's your one spend up outfielder?
Jordan, like if I had to, I mean, how can I go against like what he's done lately? He was coming into this game with 1,000 OPS and then had six RBIs and 2 home runs. Like, Jordan, Judge. I'd get to literally any of these guys. Judge has 7 home runs in his last 10 games. Like, you know,
seems decent.
He's doing it again. You know, he's just doing exactly what he did last year. Just again with an injury mixed in.
He got off to a little slow start too.
He did get off to a slow start, and then he got injured.
Hard to argue with. Yeah. I mean, it's no knock on Acuna.
I know. I know.
Man stole 3rd today on a walk. We'll find the highlight of that one.
Yep.
All right, other mid-tier guys here. We can go finish this up and make a lineup afterwards. Where are we? What's our piece? Do we like Buxton today? You know, Soler against a lefty still. Gomber.
Oh boy. Yes, for sure. Soler, for sure. De La Cruz again. Definitely Buxton. If you're not playing Yuri Perez, you can play any of these guys. I love Kalnick here, 48. You mentioned Christopher Morel, 47. He can play. You play him in the outfield.
About Aaron Judge, Christopher Morel.
I know, dude. Well. I know. Imagine you're playing like Morel and Judge every day. These like the last.
I picked up Christopher Morel when he got called up, and he was on my bench for half of his home runs he's hit. Now I just play him over Brandon.
Anybody, everybody, like
in my lineup every day now.
On like 4K and under, Brent Rooker gets the lefty. Love that. Astoria Ruiz, you could.
Bader
both those
keeps
guys.
It for power.
Yeah, Bader slowed down a little bit, but the home run was nice to see the other day. Starling Marte, $3,700, dude. Holy cow! If you want to play that for a stolen base upside, sure, he's hitting again.
A Story with their stolen base upside,
Yeah,
35.
Yeah, talk stolen base upside. Guy is a walking stolen base.
Yeah, walking 2 stolen bases.
Yeah, true.
Loriano's 31.
Yep. We're playing Oakland. We're playing Oakland.
Day is 29. Winker 28.
No, not even in a fire.
Okay. Ozunia's 27.
Corey Julks homered. The Houston pieces
Julks
could be interesting.
Homer, yeah.
Could be interesting these Houston pieces because I think Colin Ray. We talked about it when he first got the call. Like he's not a good pitcher, and Houston
has lead off for Detroit.
Could with a lefty on the mound. Yep,
2,400.
As Jose Caballero homers in his first at bat.
Did he?
Colt Wong is never gonna play again.
22% Jose Caballero, by the way. So on tonight's contest, so he wasn't nobody. Luis Castillo, by the way, for those who are wondering, I played the 25 single tonight. 73% rostered. So
that is a decent percentage.
Yes, indeed, it was. If you didn't play him, I don't know what you were looking at because we told you, but it is what it is. Does Dickerson play anymore? Dickerson might get in a lineup here against Darvish.
He homered the other day. You said like, oh, he's back, and then I think he homered that day. Like it was just.
All right, let's build a lineup here. What do you say?
Yeah, a couple minutes.
Got about 2 or 3 minutes ago. What's our top guy? Pitcher.
Let's go Cole.
Okay, then Yuri or Bello.
I mean, if you want to get bold, let's go Yuri Perez, dude.
Okay, catcher.
Francisco Alvarez.
I like it. First base.
What is
Rowdy, man? Oh, it's Rowdy.
Oh, yeah.
Rowdy. Second base.
Did we mention Willy Adames?
We didn't, but we could.
He's free? Is he free? He's $3,700. Oh my!
I think we just put Caballero.
Oh yeah.
Second base, third base.
Can we afford Devers?
Probably. Shortstop.
Willie, 3,700.
Yeah, that's free. Where is he? I don't even see him.
3,700.
Outfield, $4,300 a play. We definitely have some value down here somewhere.
De La Cruz, 38. In Coors.
Yeah, De La Cruz. Who's our one spend up? We want a one-off Judge here. One-off Judge gets. Can we get
a story? 2,800. $2,800 is.
Or we can go with Judge Light and go with Morel. Jordan will be 29.
If we did, what is a story? What does a story Ruiz get us?
56. Soler.
Sold there.
There it is. Cole, Perez, Alvarez, Tellez, Caballero, Devers, Adames, De La Cruz, Story Ruiz, Jorge Soler. James and I will be back live at 5 o'clock.